Hi, my name is Jared Mello, and this is Mello Mentoring. Today I want to talk about the worst relationship advice we get all the time. And it goes as follows. All we have to do is wait for the right person to come along. Now, I know people say that with the best of intentions, and it can even be partly true, but it neglects one huge thing. And it's the fact that we should be always striving to be the best person we can be, to be the right person ourselves, to be the kind of person we want to attract to our lives, because like attracts like, as they say. And when someone says we just have to wait for the right person, it's missing a huge part of the equation. And that's, what are we doing in the meantime? And this especially applies for people who are constantly getting broken up with. Because chances are, if people begin responding to you in similar ways, we are the common denominators in those kinds of situations, and so chances are, we have to change. And if we don't change, why would the people we attract begin to change? They wouldn't. That's why it's the worst suggestion you could ever get. The right suggestion is, be the right person. Continue to grow. Examine what has gone wrong in your relationships and see what you can do to improve them. Be the best person we can be. And a lot of people struggle with what I would call a scarcity mindset with relationships. Because maybe they look back at their past and they say, man, I haven't really attracted that many great people to my life, and I found this one really great person, so I'm going to hold on with all my might and be weak and insecure and jealous, etc. Now, the problem with this is, it's tricky. Let's try to explain it. So, our past, although it is true, is not always indicative of what's going to happen in the future. If we change who we are now, our present and our futures can be better. Now, if we don't change, there's no reason to expect for our futures and present to be any better at all. An illustration of this. So there's a caterpillar, right, and a butterfly. Now, the caterpillar turns into a butterfly and looks back on its past and says, I was never able to fly. Why could I fly now? But the point is, the caterpillar changed into the butterfly, and now it is able to fly. It had changed. It had done the work on itself, so now the butterfly is able to fly, whereas before, in his past, it was true. He couldn't fly before. But if we change and we do the work on ourselves, just like a butterfly, we can get different results now. We can do things differently, and different kinds of people will come into our life. The only thing we can control is ourselves and our growth and the way we show up in our personal relationships. That's it. Whatever else the universe decides to put in our way, that's not in our control. And a lot of people are going to be put through our path, not because they're supposed to be there forever, but because they're supposed to teach us something and to force us to grow as people. And it kind of sharpens us up a little bit. Steel sharpens steel, so to speak, and we become better people, even through the negative and toxic people that come into our lives. So we must always be working on ourselves so that we can create a better present and future. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. And if we still do the same old things and just wait for the right person to come along and to change everything for us, guess what? We're going to be waiting a long, long time. But if we're working on our own lives and continuing to grow and doing the best we can to reach our goals and to have a life that's happy and single, now that's Yahtzee. That's where the winner is right there, because I know many people that are not quite happy by themselves, and then they meet someone and it kind of brightens them up a little bit and things seem to be a lot better for them. But the sad truth is, if another person is the reason why you're doing better, they can also be the reason why you're doing bad again if they decide to leave. It's very dangerous to put ourselves in those kinds of positions where an outside source is giving us the validation and esteem we need to be happy. that is pretty risky. But if our validation and esteem is coming from our own life, now someone can come into our lives and it can make it better. There can be interdependence, as Stephen Covey calls it, but we're not dependent on them for our happiness. We know we can be happy again even without them. So this allows us to be our true self in that relationship without the fear of them abandoning us, because we know regardless of what happens, we're going to be okay. We're going to have our own life that we enjoy anyway, whether that person's a part of it or not. So that's the goal here, to work on our own lives, to be the best person we can be. And unfortunately, there's a lot of good intentioned advice out there that doesn't fill in the blanks. And if you're anything like me, I need those blanks filled in, because whatever people assume I should know turns out to be the thing that I mess up. So that's my video for today. Remember, let's work on being the right person, being the kind of person we want to attract. That is the best relationship suggestion you can get. Have a great rest of your day.